Tia drops gems, all right? One caveat before we get started, if you would like to take yourself off camera, you may. This is being recorded. Tia, I give you the floor. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you so much, Jordan, for that introduction. That was amazing. I'll have to take you on the road with me to do all of my introductions like that, please. And thank you. But good afternoon and welcome. And thank you all for having me today. I do appreciate being here. I don't take this lightly. I'm very humbled to have the opportunity to speak to you all and to just share a little bit about something that I'm passionate about, which is providing work-life harmony and the concierge mentality. So today we're going to talk about a number of things that you all can do to make sure that you have work-life harmony and have that harmony in your everyday lives. A lot of this stuff you guys are probably going to already know. But there will be some new things that we talk about. But what I want today really to do is to really serve as a refresher. I think that we all need refreshers in our lives. I got a wonderful refresher last night from one of my girlfriends who is on the call today, Miss Kimberly. She gave me a refresher of some things that I knew, but I just needed to have it spoken fresh to me in my spirit. And so what I'm hoping is that some of these things and these keys that we're going to talk about today are refreshers for you all, and it will refresh your spirit, revive you, and it will help you to, get kind of realigned, take inventory of your everyday life, and to do something to make it better. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Again, I'm Tia Rochelle. I am the founder and CEO of JahniSpot Concierge. I'm going to talk to you a little bit today, but this is our agenda. This is the flow that we're going to go through. We're going to look at work-life balance versus harmony. We're going to talk about 5 keys to work-life harmony. Then we're going to go into Q&A, and then I have a couple special offerings for you all. But first, we will take a little bit of time to talk about JahniSpot, which is my baby. All right. So for those of you that this is the first time you have heard about JahniSpot, for some, if you're familiar, for others, this is very new. Our services, we are a new company. We launched in January 4th, actually, 2020. And we offer corporate concierge services and personal assistant services. So our corporate offering is more for organizations that want to provide an employee benefit for their employees. So an employee incentive, right? So think about if you're an employee and you're working, you still have life that happens. So when you're working, life doesn't stop. And so our corporate concierge package is for employers to provide to their employees so that we can support their employees while they're working. Okay. Our second business tier is our personal assistant lifestyle management. And that is for individuals. That is where you all on this line can actually purchase lifestyle management concierge packages for yourself. So whatever that may mean, whatever your lifestyle management means, you can actually purchase a package and you will have your own dedicated personal assistant. So some days I just need an assistant to help with business matters. But then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I need an assistant to come in my house and to help me with my laundry, to help me fold these clothes, to help even maybe to help just entertain my kids while I'm cooking dinner, or to help cook the dinner, whatever. We have personal assistant lifestyle managers that are here to help you with whatever that looks like. And so that's in a nutshell what my company will offer. Okay. And so we'll talk a little bit more about this later. I'll be happy to talk to anyone offline about my services. But right now, let's go ahead and jump right into the presentation. So if you're like me, I'm sure it's very hard to visualize balance and harmony in our lives. And that's because, most of us are so busy and overwhelmed with doing life and trying to manage our daily households, our careers, our activities, and everything else that we're passionate about. So, I'm not going to say with a show of hands because I can't see you all, but just think about it. Who in the room, who in this Zoom call right now is really overwhelmed with trying to achieve work-life balance? And actually, I don't like to call it balance. I prefer to call it work-life harmony. So think about that. Whether you have children, whether you have a spouse, whether you have a very high engaging career, whether you take care of parents, whatever you do, whether you're just running a very intensive business, you know, work-life harmony affects us all. So I don't know if anyone here has mastered the skill of multitasking. I like to say I think I have, but I know realistically I haven't. You know, so thinking about, again, work-life harmony, how can that be applied in everyday life? And so really, when we think about that, we really must be honest with ourselves and acknowledge that our life only gets better when we get better. So if we're not at our game, at the top of our game, or at least putting ourselves first, then everything else is going to be out of alignment. And this is the problem that my company is actually here to try to help solve. We are here to help you figure out how to have this lifestyle management, how to have work-life harmony in your everyday life. So when you think about work-life balance versus work-life harmony, what does that really mean? And so prioritizing your well-being should really be a top priority. I don't know if any of you saw one of my Facebook posts for JahniSpot, but we highlighted Jeff Bezos, and Jeff Bezos is the CEO of Amazon. And so Jeff Bezos, and I get it, right? You know, you're thinking like, okay, that's easy for Jeff to say or to do because he has probably $1 gazillion. He probably has a whole staff. He don't have to do nothing. But Jeff Bezos, he really preaches and teaches his junior employees and his senior staffs the concept of work-life harmony. He encourages them all to put that into play, to pay attention to it, and to really practice it in their everyday lives. And so I'm going to read his quote, and this is actually quoted directly from Jeff Bezos, and I want you guys to think a little bit about this. So Jeff Bezos says, I think work-life harmony is a good framework. I prefer the word harmony to the word balance because balance tends to imply a strict trade-off. In fact, if I'm happy at work, I'm better at home, a better husband, a better father. And if I'm happy at home, I come into work more energized, a better employee, and a better colleague. So really think about that, right? And let that sink in. And I know for me, that is so true. So when you think and you hear the idea of balance, you really do think of a strict trade-off, right? So balance is here. If you're like this, then you're unbalanced. Even if it's just a little bit that way, you're unbalanced. Something is really either balanced or it's not. The word harmony is more of an integration of work responsibilities into your everyday life in a more holistic way. And so that's really what I want everybody on this call to think about. Think about work-life harmony versus work-life balance, because you'll never be balanced. We want to make sure that everything we do is really like a circle, right? It's like a full harmony. Think about putting work into your life. You have a life. Your life is not work. You have a life. Work comes into your life, okay? So for the purposes of today, we will reference work-life harmony. So we're going to talk here about 5 keys to work-life harmony. And these are just my personal thoughts. You can look this up. You can look this topic up and you'll see a number of conversations about this. You'll see a number of experts that share their insights. So this is just Tia's insights, okay? So I'm not the written word, I'm not the Bible, I'm just Tia, right? But these are just my insights on work-life harmony, and I hope that some of these insights will touch you all as you listen and watch through this presentation. So when you think about transitioning from the mentality of balance to harmony, it really does require a mind shift. So there are 5 keys, in my opinion, to work-life harmony that I'm going to walk you through. And I'm going to give you a couple of examples on each one so that we can, make it personal. It's one thing to hear, but it's another thing to really, truly make it personal in your everyday life. So the 5 keys that we're going to talk about are getting to know you, right? So I call that phase the inventory phase. You need to know who you are, what season in your life you are, so that you can really understand what work-life harmony means to you. You need to be purposeful, present, and intentional. Prioritization and always keeping a to-do list is very important. Asking for help is a strength, and we want to talk about that today. And then delegating and outsourcing tasks is critical in work-life harmony. So getting to know you, and what does that really mean? I think I like to say that right now, this season of life that we are all in, this whole period of stillness, it's very uncomfortable, right? And my sister last night, she told me, you got to get still, and you have to really get in your prayer closet, and you have to listen to what God is telling you in this period. And so for me, getting to know me, right, is very important in this time of my life. This is a very uncomfortable state for me, as I'm sure it is for a lot of people. And so really in this thing called life, it is you versus you, right? So it is you, the mother, the wife, the friend, the aunt, the sister, and then it is you, the business person, the social person, all of these other things that are competing on a daily basis. So you really need to get and understand who you are. And this is something that I talk to my clients about. I tell them to really take inventory of their life. What do you enjoy? What don't you enjoy? What really makes your heart smile and your spirit breathe? Right? You got to think about those things. And this is the perfect season to do just that. Right now with the social distancing and the stay-at-home order, this is the perfect time for everyone to really get to know who you are in this season of life. And so as you think about those things, you also need to really understand and purpose to feed your mind, your body, and your spirit. So some of those could be exercise, prayer, meditation, reading, whatever it is for you, whatever feeds your mind, body, and spirit. You need to really put that into practice now. And this is easier said, not done, right? Because I still struggle on the exercise piece. My sister last night just had to remind me about going to my prayer closet and getting up early in the morning to have my time alone. Right? And so we struggle. This does go up and down on a daily basis, but we really have to purpose to do this in order to truly have that harmony in our lives. The second key is being purposeful, present, and intentional. You must begin to live purposefully. You have to focus your energy on your passions and what you have been created to do. Self-care, family time, and work are all important. You have to make sure that you are giving your all to each of these activities in the present. So you need to be present with all of them. Again, with balance, if you're working, that means that you're not giving to your home life. But if you're home, that means you're not giving to your professional life. With harmony, we are going to be present in every area that we are in that present moment. So if I am being a mother, that means I need to be present being a mother right now. If I am having family time, I need to be present in that family time, and I need to turn off all social media and devices. If I'm at work, I need to be diligent during my work day and make sure I'm giving that my all so that when I'm done, I can be done, right? And also, just make sure that you are intentional in what you prioritize so that you are able to accomplish all items, tasks, responsibilities that you have going on in your life. So again, we want to find purpose in everything we do. We want to be present during time with family, friends, at work. We want to be intentional with our me time. And that's one thing that I am really learning. I need to be intentional when it comes to me. I'm intentional about everything else. But when it comes to me, when it comes to you, you got to be intentional. And you need to be diligent during your workday. And the last thing is be intentional. And I love this phrase, with your say-do ratio, right? So you think about, what do you say versus what do you do? That is your say-do ratio. If you're saying all these things and you're not doing, then your say-do ratio is off. you need to be extremely intentional about your say-do ratio so that you are practicing what you're preaching. So you are living what you are saying, right? And so again, this is something I'm talking to myself on this as well. I'm talking to you all and myself with this, being intentional with your say-do ratio. The third key that we're going to talk about today is prioritization and keeping a to-do list. And so I like to tell my clients it is a priority to know your priorities. If you don't know your priorities, how am I going to know them? If you don't know them, how's anyone else going to respect them? And so you need to know your priorities and make sure you focus on your priorities so that you can understand how to clearly communicate them to other folks, right? And so while you're at home, when you think about when you're at home, you need to prioritize your day. You know, now we all have rest days and we all have lazy days, but for the most part, if you're being productive in a day, you need to know how to prioritize your day. So you need to wake up with purpose and a plan. When you're at work, you need to make sure that you prioritize your work. Prioritize your work. Record the top 3 to 5 tasks that need to be accomplished, and make sure when you accomplish those tasks, you check them off. Because if you don't check them off, how are you going to visually see and weigh yourself on what you've accomplished? Make sure you check those off. That is very important. I remember when I was at GE still, and I was a global program and event manager. I would travel all over, and we would have these big smart sheets where I would plan these lavish events around the world. And I would keep track of everything that I had to do, from the venue to the speakers. And at first, I never crossed anything off. You would check a button and it would, put a strike through on that line. And I wonder why I was always so overwhelmed. Once my manager said, why haven't you crossed those items off? And once I really started doing that, it made it so much more clear to me, and it showed me seeing progress really does revive you, and it re-energizes you to continue to go. But if you see a list that never ends, you're going to be overwhelmed. So make sure that you check that off. There's another thing that I like to say to my clients, and it is plan ahead, plan along, and plan again. So when you plan ahead of time, you lay things out. You get clear about your objectives. You plan in advance. You think about what you have to do tomorrow and start putting preparation for that in today. When you plan along, you revisit and update and add to your plan. And then when you plan again, that is as you check off the items off of your list and you complete items, then you create a new plan. And so hopefully you all will write that down, because that's a really good reminder for you as you start to really take inventory and prioritize your day. Okay. And, another thing that you need to do is make sure that you do is maximize your capabilities. So I've heard in some of my research that the human brain can productively focus for 20 to 45 minutes on an average before it needs to take a quick break. So when you take that break, right? So after about 45 minutes, when you space out, you take that 5 to 10 minute break, do something productive in that break. Utilize that time to load the dishwasher, do a load of laundry, make that important phone call, or make that appointment that you have been putting off for 2 weeks. Take a walk. That's something that I've been doing here lately. I have been trying to get outside and take more walks on my breaks. It refreshes my mind. It allows me to just breathe. Breathing is so important. And taking that walk just allows me to just breathe in and out and just to release any tension or any stress that is on me from my day. So we want to make sure that you maximize all of your capabilities and all of your time throughout your day. There's another task or another important point here that I love. And I actually just heard this one the other day. One of my mentors and dear sisters, Miss Mickey Taylor. And if you guys don't know Miss Mickey Taylor, she is the editor-at-large of Essence Magazine. And I met her last year at the Sister Accord event, and she has stayed in contact with me and has been such an amazing woman in my life, just a driving force behind me. and motivates me daily. And so she said the other day, stick to a hard out. The importance of having a hard out at the end of your day. So what that means is whatever wasn't completed during your designated work time, it's going to have to wait till tomorrow. You have to stick to a hard out. If you don't, you're going to be out of alignment. So I love that phrase. Make sure you stick to a hard out for your day. If it ain't done by the time you set your time that you need to be done with work so that you can transition to that next thing, it's going to have to wait. Okay. So that is a Mickeyism. If you guys have her book, you'll know what the Mickeyisms are. But I just heard her say that 2 days ago. I was on a call with her, and she said that, and I said, I have to add that to my presentation because it's such a good point, and it's a good thing to really live by. And the final point that I am going to talk to you guys about on this slide is eat the frog. I love this term. Many of you guys may have heard this term, but what it means is truly to handle more difficult tasks or time-consuming tasks at the beginning of your day, your week, or your month. And so, if you remind yourself to eat the frog, that means that you're going to take care of all of those difficult or time-consuming tasks first so that you can really get those out the way and really then relax and focus on the other things that come next. So I'm going to pause here. Jordan, are there any questions in the chat window?
So I don't have any questions. I have someone that said, Kim Johnson said that she had to pop off for the 12:30 client call. And Allison said she loves the say-do ratio. And I have to second that. That's the truth. And Shauna says great info. And Dr. Moffitt says that she loves it. So you're doing a great job. No questions. If you do have questions, feel free to drop them in the chat and we'll take a break to make sure that they get answered.
Yes, please. Please make sure this is not a one-sided conversation. If there are any questions or if you have a question on something I'm saying, or not even just a question, if you have a comment, put it in the chat window. Jordan will read that off and so that we can make sure that we have some really good dialogue today. Okay, so here is one of my favorite things to do, right? And for those who know me knows that I'm lying, right? I don't ask for help. I rarely ask for help. I mean, I have to be on my hospital bed to truly ask for help. But this is something that I've learned to do over some time. And I know my Aunt Melanie is on the line. And so she is typically the person that I will ask for help from. And she always comes running to my rescue. But it's not, this is something that I used to view as a weakness, but it's really not. Asking for help is a sign of strength, wisdom, and maturity. And so we have to learn how to wave our white flag and say, help, I can't do this by myself. I really do need help. I need help from my village, right? And so for me, help in creating a system with my aunt. So thinking about this, let me actually back up. During the school year, before school got shut down, I had a child at Withrow. I had a child at and so my life consisted of driving and picking up and dropping off and all of that stuff and going to after school programs and basketball games and this and that. And so help for me was having someone pick up my child after her work day from school and after her track meet. So my aunt and my mother, they would alternate Wednesdays to help pick up my child. Had I not asked for that help, I would have been struggling running 3 different sides of the town. But I had to ask for that help, and that little bit of help was life-saving for me, right? So you have to make sure that you ask for help. If you can't ask for help, then create a system, create a schedule with your family to make sure that you are putting practices and things in place that will ease the burden and the load off of you, okay? So again, I say this all the time. I've been saying this forever I used to coach to all of my students and that I coach. Teamwork makes the dream work. And you truly have to put that into play in your life so that you can function at a high level or at the level that you are trying to function on a daily basis. Okay, so this is actually my favorite, right? And I'm not lying. This is really, really my favorite. So delegate and outsource tasks. So, you think about doing more of the things that you love and enjoy, right, and are really good at. So in order to do that, you have to really weigh how valuable is your time. For me, my time is extremely valuable. And I've heard the phrase, time isn't the main thing, it's the only thing. And that is so true. You think about it, people have passed away, people are gone in the blink of an eye. You don't know how much time you have. And so this is something that I'm very passionate about, delegating and outsourcing tasks. You have to think about, how much is your time worth? How much is your peace of mind worth to you? And that is actually the one thing that my company was created to solve. We are here to give you the gift of time and a peace of mind. And that is a part of JahniSpot's mission. So when you think about that, you really have to learn how to delegate and outsource and automate. So delegate tasks in your house. Outsource anything that you just can't wrap your hands around. So if you can't wrap your hands around grocery shopping, outsource it. If you can't wrap your hands and your brain around doing laundry, outsource it, okay? And then automate anything else that you can't do. And there are a lot of apps that you can automate your program, your calendar, your schedules. Delegate, outsource, and automate. That will save you so much time. So your time is extremely valuable. Make sure you use it wisely. We want to always make sure that we work smart and not hard. And last but certainly not least, hire a personal assistant with JahniSpot. That is my shameless plug. I've tried not to overwhelm you guys with my JahniSpot advertisement, but I made this company for this very reason. Again, JahniSpot was created to give you the gift of time and a peace of mind. And so hiring a personal assistant, you may think, oh, I don't want to pay anybody to do that. But once you do, and you really put a value on your time, that will be the easiest decision you will ever be able to make. So I would love to talk to any of you about this outside of the call, and about what that would mean and what that looks like. But again, this is outsourcing. This is delegating. This is automating. We do all of that for you. And so we want to be able to make your life better. We want to give you the gift of time, and we want to give you back a peace of mind. All right, so we are coming to the end of the presentation, but I do have a few extra gems and reminders that I want to say to you all. The first reminder is something that I like to also say to my clients. It is define, commit, and communicate. This, if you don't take anything else away, you take away this. Define what your work-life harmony is to you. If you don't know what it is, you can't expect anyone else to respect it or to operate and put it into play for you. You have to know who you are and what work-life harmony is to you. You have to then commit to achieving it daily. You have to commit to it. You have to do the work and put in the work every day. You have to be intentional. You have to be diligent. You have to be purposeful about achieving work-life harmony in your daily lives. And then the last thing is you must communicate your expectations to everybody. Nobody is off limits. I don't care who they are. They are not off limits from understanding and respecting your boundaries when it comes to your work-life harmony. And this is something that I do very well. I do communicate my expectations to people. And there are days I just have to turn off. There are weeks sometimes I just have to turn off. I can't communicate. I'm in the zone. And if you communicate that, people won't take it the wrong way. They will learn to respect it, and they will learn to operate with you outside of that. Okay? So define, commit, and communicate. Make sure you write that down. Another Mickeyism that I love from the amazing, great Mickey Taylor is you can't give out of your lack. If you don't have anything else, after you pour and pour and pour and pour into everybody else, your job, your spouse, your children, your family, your friends, you are empty. So how are you going to give out of your lack? You have to continue to pour into yourself so that you can pour into others. And that is so important. That is something that I try to remind myself, because it's easier said than done. You know, we as women, a lot of us, and men too, you know, we often pour so much into others and we forget about the most important person, and that is me. That is you. So make sure that you are giving, but you are also pouring into yourself, because you cannot give out of your lack. Another amazing person that I like to call her Auntie Ayanla. She said this. She does since the stay-at-home order has been in place, she does a live call every day, and we interact with her on her call and her class, and she helps us through a lot of things to, you know, make sure you're grounded, make sure you're doing the work during this time. And one of the things that she said on her morning call as she was speaking to all of us is, use your no muscle. That is like my phrase of 2020. Use your no muscle. And that means you got to learn how to say no. There, you know, some things just don't require your time, right? And there are some people who, if they can, they will use every ounce of you. But you have to use your no muscle and learn how to say no, okay? So I want everybody to practice that. That is from Auntie Ayanla, and that is use your no muscle, okay? I put that into play in my life. I love to say no. I love to say nope. I love to sing no. I love to do it because I used to only say yes, and I used to run myself ragged, but now I'm using my no muscle, okay? Another thing that is extremely important is find your happiness routine and stick to it. And so when you think about a happiness routine, that is something that you build, right? You build habits, you build routines, whatever it is that makes you happy. So in order to find your happiness routine, you got to say no to some other people and other things. And you learn to say no so that you can say yes to yourself. And when you say yes to yourself, you find your happiness routine, and then you learn how to follow it daily, and you put it into practice, into play, and it then begins to slowly transform your life, okay? So making time for that really means so much, and you will start to see every day start to change. This morning, my sister, she told me last night, she said, wake up early in the morning. She said, set your alarm very, very early before your whole house gets, and I want you to get in your word. I want you to pray. I want you to spend time with God. And this is Kimberly. She had to leave the call. And I purposed to do that. So this morning, I woke up, and I'm going to implement this into my new happiness routine, right? And after I did that, I was able to have my time. I was able to pray, meditate, read my word. Then I went back to sleep. And I woke up again, and I felt so much better. So you have to start to build that happiness routine around things that feed your spirit and your soul. It is so, so important to do that. And finally, one of the reminders on this slide that I want to talk about is rest. Rest is so important. And that is something that is really a part of my life right now, because outside of this period of social distancing and the stay-at-home order, I am on the go 24/7. I got 4 kids, I got a husband, I got a dog, I got a whole bunch of bonus children out there that I mentor. I am constantly running myself ragged. And so I was wondering why I'm sleeping so much during this period. Why every day I have to have a nap in the afternoon in order for me to be okay for the second half of my day. And at first I was like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with this? Why am I doing this? But then I prayed about it, and God said, I need you to rest. You are no good to anyone else if you don't rest your mind, rest your spirit. You got to slow down. And so I want to tell you that resting is your way to recharge. And it is your way to recharge your mind, your body, your spirit. You know, everything is impacted if you do not have that rest. And resting, I do want to say this, it doesn't mean that you have to sleep. It can mean a bubble bath. It can mean a warm cup of tea, my favorite thing. I love, love, love English breakfast tea. I don't drink coffee. For those of you out there, if you want to take me out to coffee, I drink tea. Drinking a warm cup of tea and reading is heaven, right? Meditating, that's resting. You're stilling yourself. Getting a massage. I cannot wait to get a massage again. Having one-on-one time with a dear friend. That is resting. I have a girlfriend, Michelle, and it's funny because she and I will go weeks, we may not talk, and then we'll be like, I need some time. And so she'll come over, I'll make sure the kids are doing whatever, and we will sit on the couch in our most comfortable clothes, and we will kiki and ha-ha and laugh and cry for 3 hours straight. And it will be rest for my soul because it's like having that one-on-one time with somebody that you love, okay? So these are important ways to rest. And I want everyone to understand that resting is not bad. It is nourishment for your soul. And again, I'm going to remind you all, another gem, hire a personal assistant, okay? Outsource tasks that you don't need to be bogging down your day. Hire someone to help you do your laundry, help you with your shopping, help you plan that birthday party, whatever it is. We have a personal assistant that will be available to help you with your lifestyle management and to get that work-life harmony, create that work-life harmony in your life. One of my clients actually said to me, I was talking to her and she said, she said, Tia, I'm not upset about having to go back to work once the governor lifts everything. She said, but what I'm concerned about is that now that I've been working from home for so many weeks, I have been able to do so much, and I didn't realize how much I was not doing on the home front. So now I could take a call and then I can stop and I can do the dishes. I can take a call, I speak with my client and I can do this. She said, I was neglecting so much because I had an hour commute downtown, an hour commute back. I had a 9 to 10 hour workday, and I would literally see my house early in the morning, late at night, and then do it all over again. She said, I've been able to do so much stuff. I cleaned out my closet. I have organized my pantry. She said, I've been able to do so much stuff, but I don't know how I'm going to keep that up now that I have to return back to work. And so for her, she could not wait to get an assistant. An assistant would solve all of her problems because she knows that an assistant will be able to pick up, where she left off, and will be able to now help her maintain the order in her home and in her life that she has just now created during this period of stay at home. So again, I'm happy to talk to anyone about that, and just hope that you think about it. Even if that just means having your groceries delivered from Kroger. They don't have to mean coming to JahniSpot. I want it to mean that. But even if that just means having Kroger's or Walmart deliver your groceries, think about how much time out of your day it would take for you to go grocery shopping and lug all that stuff in the house. If they can do it for you, why not have them do it? Okay? So just think about that. And so now we're going to go, I would like to open the lines to any questions that we may have before I go into a couple of special gifts I have for you. So Jordan, are there any questions?
So Aunt Melanie asked if we could talk more about automation.
Yes. And so automation, I'll have to share with you some, automation is really used a lot in your work life. And so there are certain things that you can automate, like in your email. There are certain processes when I was at GE that we were able to kind of automate for work that made things go easier. I will make sure to follow up with you because there are some things that you can kind of automate in your daily life. You can automate your calendar, right? So that you don't have to be scheduling meetings all day. You can create a Calendly link, which is a free calendar link, and it will automate all of your meetings. So you just send the link out. People can put themselves on your schedule. This takes a number of hours out of your day with having to go through your schedule, right? You can automate your social media messages. I wish Kimberly was still here. I think that she knows a lot about this, but you can actually go into certain social media platforms and automate your messages so that you don't have to be posting every day. You can take one day and plan out your posts for a whole week, and then it will be automated. So you don't even have to go back and touch it, right? So that's what automation is. And I'll have to come back to you with some other ideas for automation outside of the work zone, but that's essentially what automation is. And I hope that helps.
Those are all my questions inside of the chat. Oh, I'm sorry. Melinda says, hiring a personal assistant sounds like a commitment. Can you mention if there are obligations or can be customized? I think that's a great
No. Yeah, no. There's no commitment. Now, if you want to say, hey, I want a personal assistant for the next 6 months, I'm going to sign for the next 6 months, and that's your business. If you say, hey, I only want a personal assistant for this 1 month because I have a lot going on, I just want it for a month, it is whatever you need it to be. It is the help that you need. So we have some clients that have come to us and said, hey, I just need 4 hours. I just need a 4-hour package. I need someone to come in here and help me clean out my basement. It's spring cleaning time. I just moved into my new house, but I brought a lot of junk. I just need help there. So we actually went out to a house in Madeira and cleaned out a basement for a client. We've done closet organization. I need my walk-in closet organized. It's up to whatever it is that you need it to be. So we can customize a package specifically for you. I will say that if you go to our website, you will see that you can actually purchase, and I don't know if it's up there yet, but we're going to be launching a new discount for Mother's Day. And for Mother's Day, you will be able to purchase packages in 4-hour increments. So 4-hour package, an 8-hour package, 12, 16, and 20-hour package for your needs. And then we're going to give a discount for anyone that purchases a package for themselves, or for their mother, or for any other mothers in their lives, okay? But again, if you have a need that falls outside of that 4, 8, 12, 16, 20 hours, say for instance, you need something more than 20 hours, right? You need someone that's really well, no other questions. I want to go into a special little gift that I have for you all. So I can't depart from you today without providing a special gift. Because we are in the market of providing lifestyle management, I want to provide you all with a few JahniSpot lifestyle management templates. And this is just something that we had created to help you all, to help our clients, and to help you all get better organized in your day-to-day lives and activities. And so if you all can head over to JahniSpot.com, you'll see the link. And Jordan, if you can type the link in the chat window, www.JahniSpot.com. Once you head over to the page, on the home page, you should be able to see an area where you can actually download the template. You may have to enter your email address to subscribe, and then you will be able to download these templates. There's a daily work-life planner, there's a daily lifestyle planner, and then there is also a needs assessment, which I'll talk a little bit more about. But while you're at the website, don't just stop at the templates. I want you guys to take a look at our website and some of our offerings and make sure that you consider our services for your personal lives and the lives of your family, your friends, and your circle, okay? So after you take a look at those two planners, I want you guys to take a look at the Lifestyle Management Needs Assessment tool. And this is also a part of that download. And so with this planner, this is just a simple assessment that you can use on your own to evaluate your personal lifestyle management needs. I can tell you, you need me all day, right? I know that everybody on this call and everybody in Cincinnati and everybody in the world needs JahniSpot. But until you know it, that's no good for me, right? And then my service will be no good for you until you know it. So I want you guys to take a look at this lifestyle management needs assessment. And it's broken down into 4 different categories and responsibilities. And so these are not all inclusive. These are just 4 categories that we had to put on here just to keep it simple. And so we thought about the categories: home and office organization, personal or virtual assistant, errand running and shopping, and then event management. So let's think about those areas. Home and office organization, that is more so like someone coming in to kind of organize. We don't do deep cleaning, but we do organization for you. So clean out your closet. We can organize your home, organize your closet, organize your office. Personal virtual assistant, that is either hiring a virtual assistant to help with your professional needs, or just having a personal assistant there to help with professional and personal needs. So you can have someone virtually or personally on the ground to help you with whatever. Errand running and shopping, that is exactly what it says. Errand running, picking up groceries, picking up prescriptions, dropping things off, or whatever. And then event management. If you guys have kids or family or friends that you are planning birthday parties and anniversaries with, we can help you with those needs. So if you think about all these categories and your responsibilities in each of the areas, I want you to think about the tasks that are associated with these responsibilities and areas. And think about how much time do you put into these areas, and how much time in these areas really drain you, and how much do you continue to push off and to put off, because just tackling it really does cause you to have a headache, right? So when you think about the number of hours, I want you to quantify that into numbers. Think about how many hours it will take for you in each of these buckets to complete various tasks. So for me, I hate cleaning out my refrigerator. I also have a storage closet in my basement that needs to be cleaned. Those are two areas I would absolutely purchase a 4-hour package and have a JahniSpot assistant come and help me with. I also have birthday parties. I have four birthday parties in October alone. So for me, I would also hire someone to help plan those birthday parties, get everything I need for it, do all the shopping for me, and to have it all set up so I don't have to do anything but host, right? So these are just a few ideas of how a JahniSpot assistant can help you. So I want you to do this with each area. And again, this tool is not for me, it's really for you. It's to show you where you're putting your time and effort. And so if you really are realistic with this and you do this for each area, you look at how much time you can save with the help of a personal assistant, or even just with the help of outsourcing a task, you will learn that you will truly change your life by outsourcing and having a personal assistant come in to help you with your everyday lifestyle management. So finally, we have the area that I get a lot of questions about, which is how can I support JahniSpot? How can I support you, Tia, in what you're doing? The ways that you can support me, you can book a service. You can sponsor a service. So Mother's Day is coming up. Again, perfect opportunity to take something off the plate of another mother. So you can sponsor a service for another mother, a family member, a friend, a coworker, a teacher, whatever it is. And you can also, one of the biggest ways is follow us on all of our social media pages. Follow us at JahniSpot on all of our social media pages. That is LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. You can follow us. You can like our posts. You can share our posts with your friends and family. That is probably the biggest way. Even if you can't monetarily purchase one of my services, if you just want to be an ambassador of mine and say, Tia, I for all of your time today. I hope that something I said resonated. I hope that something I said pricked your mind and pricked your heart. And I hope that something I said you will be able to put into practice and into play in your everyday lives as you work to and purpose to achieve work-life balance and work-life harmony, not balance, harmony in your everyday life. I thank you. Thank you, Jordan, for having me, and for always supporting me and JahniSpot, and for being my brother from another mother. I thank everybody for your time. Jordan, I'll kick it back over to you.
Thank you so much, Tia. This was truly, truly phenomenal. I mean, you know, when you think about it, I think Melanie said it the best, when that smile when you realize that your time is worth $60 an hour. You know, I think a lot of times we're quick to spend money on things that we think that we need.
$6,000 an hour.
Right? $6,000
an hour. Let's get to not
right. 60. Right. Yes, sir. So, but you know, it's like you don't think about that in the moment, but you have no problem buying, you know, that set that you see on ASOS or Nordstrom Rack, right? Or whatever whatever it is that you may, spend your money on. And then you sit around and you're like, man, I got so much I still have to do. My personal tasks, and I live in a very large loft, was like, I need to organize these closets while I'm at home working from home, right? I need to, get these rooms rearranged that I continue to talk about. And, a lot of the times, just like you said, your client said, I utilize work as my excuse. By the time I get home, I don't care about what it looks like, and until it starts to smell like something, I'm a bachelor, you gotta live that life, right? And so it's like, until you gotta move it, you don't have to move it, right? But being home and sitting in it all day, you're like, oh snap, I gotta do something. And then the other part is like, you think about it and it's like, okay, well, I'm done. What have I done? And so I think that, as you have presented, I know a lot of people on this call probably had an aha moment, like, ooh, that is something that I need. Ooh, I see me right there, and that's me knowing exactly what your product is and what you do. I saw some of those, I'm like, ooh, okay, I need some of that. So, the thing is that we have to prioritize ourselves. And I know you said that in a number of ways today. Self-care is one of those truly, important things, but one of those things that we don't always preach and follow, So I love how you put on that slide about what are you going to do? And then how much do you actually execute, So I think it's important to track that stuff. But me, I'm a numbers geek. So tracking data, patterns, there's a reason why I got a sociology degree, So it's the beauty in that for me. But it's tough. And especially when you got to be honest with yourself about it. So I think that all the things that you said today were phenomenal. And I love that you had gems on some of those slides because they were definitely gems. But I think the one thing that really stuck out to me and something that I have to preach to my own clients too is that you have to be ready. It's got to be that moment for you when you need it, because it doesn't matter what the price is. If you need it and it's something that's going to help take you to that next level, you have no problem paying for it. I have no problem with that. I got no problem with that. I used to go into Macy's and spend $95 on a polo until somebody showed me where TJ Maxx was, and now I laugh at Macy's, right? But I still have no problem spending the $45 for a nice polo out of TJ Maxx. So, and $45 could be spent a various amount of ways, right? to do much more than to clothe my back with or sit in my closet, right? So I think we all have to spend a little bit more smarter. And, as we are working harder and working smarter, it takes the load off, especially when you talk about that automation piece. So I really appreciate you being here. I really appreciate you dropping these gems. Again, my name is Jordan Ivory. I'm the program director here at the African American Chamber. If you missed my spiel in the beginning, we do a lot of programs. And I tell people all the time that people tell me, well, if you do over 120 programs a year, how much quality is there in that quantity? And I remind people all the time that there is quality inside of this quantity that we're doing at the African American Chamber. And the beautiful thing is that it's because we're building that community from within. So having individuals like Tia inside of our member base allows us to not only grow, but to educate, but also show other individuals, that we're out here really making moves and making it make sense. And Tia and I have had very candid conversations about what the chamber was, what the chamber is, and where the chamber is headed. So I always tell everyone, I'm not new to the chamber anymore. Okay, so I've ruffled all the new feathers off, right? And so the thing is that we are the face of what's next, and not just myself as a staff member here at the chamber, but our member base too. And so the one thing that I'm super passionate about is not only you being a paying member. That's not where it's at for me. I want you to be involved in the things that we have going on, because it's not all about the financial piece. Even though the city's cutting our budget, even though we're finding different ways to work around the money piece, we are strong and gifted because we have individuals like you that not only show up for us and support us, but also come and give us honest feedback and produce better feedback for our speakers and individuals that are inside these circles. So I appreciate not only the presentation, but the networking opportunity within these presentations too. I truly cannot say it enough. We are still in motion, okay? The African American Chamber is still open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. We are taking calls via our office numbers, and then we will reach back out to you. If somebody has not gotten back to you, please reach out to me, and I will do my best to make sure I connect them with you. We have a lot of stuff going on with helping businesses reopen. We have a crowdfunding opportunity that's out as well right now too. I won't dive too deep and bore you guys with that information, but check out our website. It is there. It is awesome. We're trying to help businesses in our community because as much as we aren't talking about it, able to forecast it, and truly able to see the light at the end of the tunnel of this COVID-19, we truly are the most affected. And so what we have to do is make sure that we hone in on these professional development pieces, these wellness pieces, you know, and leveraging our community and network to grow and be better coming out of this. And I can truly say that the African American Chamber is in a much better space coming out of COVID-19. We did not have virtual programming. You had to come to my physical space to get this programming. And now you can join me anywhere. And not only can you join me anywhere, they're being recorded and we're able to put them onto our website. So you're able to revisit them. Gives quality to not only the attendees, but to also the presenter. And the thing is that we have to continue to push ourselves, even when times are not hard. And we have to continue to try to push the envelope to make sure that we all get this information. Because one of the things that has truly been the case is that we are not offered those same opportunities. We are not in those same spaces. And that gap is only increasing and helping to decrease how much we have in terms of tangible, physical, and technological goods, honestly. And so I love hearing you talk about that tech piece, Tia, and I love talking about that with everyone, because if you know me, I'm all about, number one, minority, Black women in business, okay? That is my number one thing, because I previously was in PR. I've experienced what sexism looks like. I experienced when conversations are had outside the room and then you show back up and then it's a decision that's made. And a lot of times it's because we just don't have that team to fight for us and with us. And so the Chamber is that for you. We do our best to make sure we connect you with resources, that we are the resource for you, and that we're a safe space that you can come. So we're doing our best to make sure that when we reopen, that we reopen properly, that we are a safe space. I promise you programming will still be happening virtually. So even if you can't come to our physical space, and I know it's going to be some time before we can have a whole bunch of people in the space, but we will still be able to have you virtually. And I mean, Tia and I are working on something on the virtual spectrum that's going to be really, really dope. So please stay tuned for that. I'd be remiss if I did not let you know about programs that are happening. So this was our last program of the month. So shout out to Tia. Ooh, yay, this is phenomenal, phenomenal. But she's back next month, guys, back next month. Tia, we're on the 24th of next month, correct? Let me look real quick. I'm sorry. I want to tell everyone where we got the 28th. I got you on May 28th for next month. Stay tuned for a date from JahniSpot Concierge in May, okay? And what we'll be talking about, we got something jumping though. I promise you it'll be hot. We also, next week, we are starting to sponsor Love Yoga Sundays with Dr. Shomo Knows on Sunday mornings from 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. And then we are sponsoring on Sundays in the evenings, Curvy Cardio, their Let's Work Together campaign, which is a free workout on Sunday nights with Morgan A. Owens from 6 o'clock to 6:30. Both of those are on Zoom, and Love Yoga Sundays is also on Facebook. So if you have questions, there is information on our website about that. Also, next week, we have pivoting your business to online markets with Morgan A. Owens. And if you don't know Morgan A. Owens, she's a brand, lifestyle, influencer, enthusiast, guru. Morgan is truly out here doing her thing, okay? Truly a woman in motion, truly a woman about the people, and a board member of the African American Chamber, and a big reason for why programs are where they are, because she's my program chair, which is really awesome. And so super excited to have her. On Tuesday of next week, we have Lawrence Kane talking about why you need to have digital products. Okay. And if you just saw Tia's digital product about the download, okay, that is what we are talking about. So ways that you can actually create those digital downloads and the benefits of those, because there are a ton. There are a ton. And I know Tia can attest to that. So please join us for Lawrence Kane of Abundance University. Go ahead.
I actually want to say something real quick. I know we've gone over, but I do want to say this about automation. There's another tool that I use right now in my business to help me automate like emails and things that have to go out, and that is a customer resource manager, a CRM system. And so there are a number of them out there. You guys know Salesforce, HubSpot. There are a number of them out there, but HubSpot has a really wonderful free version. Can you guys hear me? Can everybody hear me? Can you guys hear me?
You kind of choppy
Okay.
now, but now you're good. Now
So
you're good.
HubSpot has, okay. HubSpot has a free version you can automate all of your business work. And so that's the version I use. We're not at the point yet, right? So JahniSpot will be a $1 billion brand, right? We will be a global $1 billion company, but we're not there yet. So HubSpot, we utilize their free version of marketing tools, of sales tools, of calendar management tools, and it's phenomenal. I had to do a blast to about 50 HR professionals last week about our corporate concierge offering. And so in HubSpot, I'm able to do that, customize the email, various templates, and then it will send out individual emails for me. And then it will not only send them out when I want it to, it will also allow me to see who clicked on my link, who opened the email. If you sent something out to somebody and they keep pushing you off, but you're like, I know you saw my email because it told me you opened it, right? So a really good CRM tool is a great way to automate your business. And so there are a number of them out there. Jordan, you know about CRM, right? So Salesforce is probably the number one. You do? Okay. So Salesforce is probably the number one out there, right? We use them with GE, with P&G, like we use Salesforce all the time. But for HubSpot, it's really, really big as well. So I would recommend going to HubSpot.com and creating a free account and utilizing the forms. When we did our giveaway for our food, it allowed us to automate our forms. It allows us to automate our emails. It allows us to automate sales tools, all of that stuff. And then some things, there are a number of tiers, right? Because it does get pretty pricey. And once our business grows, then we will upgrade our tier. But for right now, the free version is so amazing. We're able to integrate it into our website so that you can actually schedule time with me directly on my website. It goes back to HubSpot. And that's just in the free version. So that's another way to answer the automation question and technology component. I'm really big on technology as well, Jordan, and that's why I wanted to say this. I think that a lot of our businesses, what I've been finding is that a lot of people, as I'm now a business owner, a small business owner, we don't know these tools. And so having these tools readily available, I did a presentation last week with the Women's Business Center. And maybe that would be a good one to talk about here as well, because that one was more about how to really get focused in your business and some tools that you can do in your business. So that might be a good next topic. But I talk about a lot of these tools and ways to really, really help automate and make system processes easier with your business.
Most definitely. Yeah, I definitely have to agree. Customer resource management tools are something that we all really don't know about unless you come from a sales background. Something that, I think a lot of people are afraid of the free as well. So I appreciate you sharing that because I'm a freemium kind of guy. Okay. I like free for a moment. Okay. And then show me what I'm going to have to pay for. Okay. Let me test it out for a minute. Okay. Because there are a lot of digital products that you can get caught up in that don't do really what you need it to do. So then you're buying 3 or 4 more tools to add on to it. And so Tia is exactly right with HubSpot. I actually am certified with 3 certifications through HubSpot. Out of my 7 certifications, 3 of them are from HubSpot and they were free. HubSpot is a great, great tool and it does a lot of stuff for free. So definitely utilize that. If you aren't familiar with customer resource management tools, you want to look at project management tools as well. So customer resource management tools are phenomenal when you're dealing with people. When you have remote work, you want to make sure that you have project management tools too. We talk about those as well in previous programs and soon to come more, but HubSpot is one of those. And then Monday.com is another one that is phenomenal in terms of project management. They've actually expanded into a workforce application. So it's really neat. We utilize it with the chamber. We also use Slack. So, automation is truly key. It's hard to get individuals to understand the true magic of automation without them actually trying it. And that's really where it's tough. And I think that that truly has the generational gap between us when it comes to technology, because we're afraid to do it. But I tell people all the time, I'm able to do over 120 programs with the African American Chamber because a lot of my stuff is automated. A lot of my stuff is literally a couple clicks and then it's all done. And so by the time I get to it, it's still in motion. We're still in good shape. And I previously just had a death in my family. And I'm able to just pick up the phone, call Tia this morning. Hey, we're in good shape for the program today. We actually set a record for the most pre-registers in 2020. So shout out to that. People love Tia. We all love Tia, right? So it's really good. But, you know, the beautiful thing is that automation is what keeps you going when things get tough. And as small business owners, that's huge. So Tia, thank you. Please join us for some of our amazing programming next week. I'm trying to keep everything between the 12 to 1:30 kind of range. So hang in there with us. We did have brand standards, creating your own brand standards guide set up for this week. However, my computer is a dinosaur. As tech savvy as I am, I had to send out an email saying I was having technical difficulties, and you would have thought people cared about me, but they really came at my neck. And it wasn't about the program being rescheduled. It was like, how is the tech guru dealing with tech issues, right? So I set myself up for failure with that one, but my old school MacBook is still in motion. And so, you know, please be sure to reach out to us, okay? If you're looking for our information, please go to our website, which is African-Americanchamber.com, okay? And we're dropping YouTubes daily, okay, with Eric Kearney, as well as all of our programs. And if you go to YouTube, you type in African American Chamber, you'll find all of our stuff. I'm Jordan Ivory. I'm always here to help, okay? Please feel free to reach out to me. We're going into the weekend, y'all. And y'all better take these gems and really implement them. You know what I'm saying? Because you know Tia will follow up with you, okay? Please, if you have not, please connect with Tia. If you need me to help connect you, I got you. Her email is inside of our chat feed as well as the website. Please check them out, okay? My JahniSpot Kiwi candle just got done burning out over here, and I still use my JahniSpot pen every day too. So when I say she got quality stuff, y'all, the digital products is fire. The tangible product was fire. Okay? Sis is doing it. So I really appreciate you being here. If you're joining us on the replay, please make sure you reach out to Tia. If you need help connecting, I'm here to help you do that. I look forward to seeing you.
When will the replay be available?
No, it won't be available until the end of next week. Okay.
But when it is available, you'll send it to me and we can get it out to everyone so they can share it.
Yep, sure can. Yes, ma'am. And I think it's really good too for our programs to be recorded because it then allows you to go back. A lot of the times I have questions like, what did that slide say? So now we're actually able to go back. So, you know, I want you guys to be able to take advantage of that as well. So look forward to seeing you all again soon. See you next week at our programming. Tia, thank you again. Make sure you guys check out JahniSpot. I'll see you with the branded material and Melanie. Bow, bow, bow. See, I told y'all the stuff is fire. I'll see y'all next time, okay? Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.